morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Must Love Yarn podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It is
June 25th,
June
Thursday.
25th. Thank you, Kelly. I was like, what day of the week it is? I'm pretty sure it's Thursday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's our normal recording day.
Yeah. Though hopefully, fingers crossed, if all goes well, I'll have this uploaded before I leave the office today. So it'll hopefully upload today as well. So this is a podcast about knitting and sometimes crocheting and spinning and yarn and all things sort of fiber related and Vermont related, including some of our favorite topics like gardening, the weather,
Chipmunks,
wildlife shenanigans, like all kinds of fun stuff.
chickens.
Yeah, chickens. And so normally Kelly and I podcast together at our store, Must Love Yarn in Shelburne, Vermont. But due to social distancing restrictions, we've had to go to this sort of split screen environment. We think we have worked out most of the kinks. And, you know, as soon as we're able to get back and podcast together, we will, because it's fun. But we didn't want to not bring you guys a podcast.
That's right.
And so Kelly's actually at the store today.
I am. Yep, I'm in the back.
Sitting back in the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I'm at my office with the wall of books that are just for decoration now because all of my stuff is online. I'm out of practice.
I know.
I don't know.
We missed last week. We didn't get a chance to.
I'm going to blame the heat. So you can find the store out on all social media as Must Love Yarn. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Ravelry, probably the most active on Instagram and Ravelry. So feel free to
Facebook too. We're pretty.
Yeah.
Do quite a bit on Facebook too.
So feel free to follow or friend us on those platforms. We've got a fun group over on Ravelry. It's where we run most of our cows. Knits and crochets alongs and make alongs. Sometimes we have make alongs. So we all have interests in other things as well. And I'm Angela.
And I'm Kelly.
And you can find me out on social media, Instagram and Ravelry as Junior Bird Kid.
And you can find me on Instagram as Kelly O Spins and on Ravelry as Kelly Spins.
Yep. So, and feel free to follow or friend us on those platforms. Though I will say, as I always do, with a caveat that Instagram account is my personal account. So you'll see other stuff on there.
Yep, not just knitting.
Exactly. So for, knitting content, the Must Love Yarn account is yarn content. That's the place to go. And we also have podcast mascots, which I am a very bad mascot mom at times because I forget them or I can't find them. But I did remember them today. Can't believe I actually found all of them. It's amazing. So this is our mob of meerkats. Yes,
they've been quarantining with Angela's family.
Yes.
Well, except there are a couple up front here.
Yeah.
That have been quarantining here.
We've separated them in the quarantine.
Yeah, because the store is open again, so
yeah,
we needed some here.
Exactly.
To hang out.
So this is Gage. This is our original meerkat. And then we have Stitch, Swatch. Gage's next friend. We have Stitch, who came back with us from vacation last summer. And they also have their own Instagram page. So go, take a look at that if it interests you. If I hadn't been out the door getting ready for work when the bear incident happened, I should have thrown them out there and taken a couple pictures, but that would have been awesome.
With the bear?
No, it could have been the whole caption could have been meerkats had a party last night.
Meerkats and the chipmunks.
Yeah. that was an opportunity missed, clearly. I am not thinking like an Instagram account holder. Anyway. Oh, good times. Good times. So we normally start or have this next section of our podcast be for our pick of the week. We are foregoing picks of the week.
Delaying them.
We're delaying them.
We're going to come back to them.
We will. So 2 weeks ago when we podcast, we told you about these sort of prize packs that we're putting together that are running for 2 weeks, and then each sort of...
It's a fundraising campaign. We're raising money, so...
Yep, and we spend a lot of time talking about it in the outtakes because we drew the first prize, showed the next prize pack, announced which sort of nonprofit charity that the next money is going to go towards. So stay tuned at the end for that. But don't worry, we'll bring our standard sort of pick of the week back kind of once we get through the summer and through this sort of fundraising campaign.
Yep.
Anyway. And so I am not wearing any hand knits, not even hand knit socks today. It's too hot.
Me either. Not wearing any hand knits. I probably could have, especially since I'm going to be in the air conditioning today.
That's true. I had some on yesterday because I had socks on, little shorty socks with some shoes I was wearing. So shorty socks are good even during the summer because you have to wear socks.
That's what I'm designing, little shorty socks.
I know. I got a sneak preview.
Yes, you did. I can show. I'll show the heel, which is just a basic knit slip heel, but you know.
So I have some finished objects.
Oh my gosh,
I know, right? Are you guys ready?
Ready.
Okay. Look, I have a pile of socks.
Whoa, look at you go.
Whoa. Some of these you guys have seen before, and some of them I just wanted to show that they were actually done. So I finished both pairs of my
nice
sort of summertime socks. So for the record, I just had to put heels, toes, and cuffs on these as these were cranked by my friend Kelly. So I didn't do all of this knitting. So it looks like a lot, but really I was just doing finishing work. So I got these two done. And then I picked these guys back up. So this set had already been done. And then I had this other set. So it's 2 pairs of socks out of a tube.
It's so funny how the different heels, toes, and cuffs can change the look of the yarn so much.
I know. Yellow.
They look like
black.
So completely different.
I know. Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
So much fun. And, you know, this is a really fun way to see how that happens. So nice. Put a little ran out of the
that's right.
Ran out of the yellow. So they're for me, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
These guys with the black.
Little dot of black at the end.
Little design feature. I could go back and add one to the other sock if I find that I don't like it. So always in the realm of possibilities. So I've got 4 new pairs of socks. Some of these are going to be gifts, just because I already have a drawer full of hand knit socks. Not that you can't always use more, but at some point it just kind of gets ridiculous. Like, I'm never gonna wear all of these ever. But that's a good way to kind of jumpstart any sort of gift knitting.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one pile of finished objects. So the other finished object that I have is I took some classes through Vogue Knitting. So they're doing their Vogue Knitting online, which is kind of, I think
Anne was texting me all weekend when she was doing that.
I was.
It was what, two weeks ago?
Yeah, it was
something like that.
Yes. 14th
last weekend, it was the weekend before.
15th, 16th-ish of whatever that is. Should probably look at the calendar. It was the 12th, 13th, 14th of June. So yes, like 2 weeks ago. So they've moved to an online platform because they can't do any of their shows in person. So they have like a virtual marketplace, but they're also doing virtual classes, which is amazing because like I can go. I don't have to actually go be wherever the festival or the
because travel's hard. Like even when we could do it, you know, especially, you know, you've got kids and you've got work and you've got, you know, all these other things. So it's kind of an interesting.
I mean, for me, it means that if they keep doing this, it means I'm going to be able to take a lot more of those types of classes because all I have to do is block out the couple hour window that the class is for whatever days.
I have a feeling that some of the tools that I have a feeling, because I mean Knit Stars is really, we were talking about Knit Stars earlier, and you know that's been really popular, and they kind of had that platform already, just because that's what they've been doing. It's a little bit different because it's not live, you know, they're recorded classes that you're taking, but yeah, that live class, virtual class, I think we'll see more of that because then people, you know, can have access to these great teachers that they may not necessarily be able to access otherwise.
Right. Well, and what it does is for everybody, it brings the price point down. Right?
Yeah, because they don't have to travel and
exactly. And so what it means is that it's a lot more affordable to attend some of these classes. With still the instructors and folks making sort of fair living and fair wages and getting fairly compensated for what they're doing. It just, you know, creates. So anyway, so that was a long-winded way of saying I took some Vogue knitting. Well, it would have been.
Enjoyed them.
I did enjoy them. So it would have been what would have been Vogue Knitting Live Seattle. So that was fun because I got to do some math because all of the classes were scheduled for West Coast time. So I had to anyway, it's good. I made it to all my classes. It was excellent. So one of the classes that I took was a brioche class with Amy Dutchins. And we made a cowl. Just a fun little cowl. We didn't do this all in the class. I just kept knitting on it because I was having such a fun time. So this is just leftover fiber stash yarn that I had in my stash. This has not been blocked yet, so it'll probably behave itself a little bit better once it's blocked. It's kind of, but it was fun. I've always wanted to do brioche. Kelly has assured me that it was very easy, and she was right. Like once you got the stitches down,
it's really getting in the rhythm of it.
And that's what it was. And that was the thing that was super helpful with the class, is having somebody sort of walk through and explain. And then after a point, like for me, my brain just goes, it just clicks, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I get this. This makes sense. So that was fun. I expect perhaps some more brioche in my future, because I had fun. I had fun doing it. Nice. Kind of, you know, relaxing once you get the pattern down and see what you're doing. You have to pay a little bit of attention. I couldn't do this like in a movie theater or in the dark or, you know, like some other kinds of projects.
Eventually you'll get to a point where you can, if you're especially if you're doing like something like that where it's just straight brioche and you're not doing increases and decreases, you would get to a point where you could, I can, if I'm just doing something
like this,
like that, where if I had to do increases or decreases, I wouldn't be able to do it, you know, without really paying attention. But yeah, that's
cool. I could kind of feel by the time I was getting towards the end where it was becoming a natural, more natural stitch process. So yeah, so that was fun. There's some beautiful brioche stuff out there.
Yeah, there really are some great patterns.
So I'm excited about that. I also took a steeking class with Amy Dutchin, and I've steeked before, but she was teaching the crocheted method of securing your steeks, which I had not done, and you guys know me with crochet, so I was like, I should maybe like take a class on this. So I did that. That was fun. And then I did a short rows class with Bristol Ivy, which was amazing. Like, short rows are amazing now that I know how to properly do them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited. I want to knit something with short rows now. So that was really fun. And then I took a modern natural dyeing class with, oh my gosh, my brain just, Kristen Vehar.
Mm-hmm.
And her business partner in A Verb for Keeping Warm. I'm trying to remember what her name is. Oh, my apologies. You guys are all yelling at the screen who it is. But anyway, so they did, it was more akin to like a lecture for theirs with a little bit of demonstration. So there was no sort of hands-on for the participants.
Yeah.
But it was incredibly interesting and amazing just to listen to them. And they have a new book that's coming out in October. So that's kind of exciting as well. So that's my couple of weeks with knitting.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I have no finished objects. None.
That's cool.
I've actually had a number of orders come in for cranking yarn.
Oh, nice.
So I've been doing those, and then I had a couple skeins that were sitting off to the side that are ones that I was planning on, just hand knitting socks out of, but I was like, I really like those and I want some socks sooner. So I actually knit myself some tubes. I actually thought about just knitting the whole sock, but then I was like, it'd be fun to do because the finishing of them is so easy, you don't really have to think a whole lot about it. I was like, I'll just hand finish them. So
nice.
one is this fun skein, and it's not showing up very well. It's looking very pastel, and it's not at all. It's very bright. It's actually that
on my
color. It's not on your end?
No, it's brighter on my end.
Okay, good. It's actually the picture in the email newsletter that I did. This is the background that I did for that. And this one is a White Birch Fiber Arts, and this one's the Full Monty.
Nice.
So that's that one. And then the other one is an Into the World skein. Cool. And this one is Scissors Lizard Spock. So it's a take on rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock. Big Bang Theory. So
nice.
That one was fun. So now I'll be able to do some socks. Lots of socks.
Excellent. So I started another heels, toes, and cuffs on a cranky sheep cranked sock tube, keeping up with my knitting lots of socks right now. Actually, what it is I'm justifying coming back to Kelly and being like, can you crank me some more tubes? Look, I knit like all of my tubes. So this is one that Kelly did with sort of the big order. Like there was like 5 or 6 skeins. I think she cranked it through a tube for me. So this is, let me see if I have the thing in here. That is not it. Kelly's so good. She puts the tags in with the yarn when she cranks them, and then I think I have not transitioned it over, so I can't actually remember which company of yarn this is. But it is a BB-8 colorway, so I do know that much. It's a Star Wars colorway.
So you could probably narrow it down that way.
I could probably narrow it down as to which company actually did this yarn. So as you can see from the top here, I am doing shorty socks for my first pair. And the heel is ready to just be kitchenered. I've not done that yet. So it's just kind of hanging out back here.
Adventures in Kitchenery.
I know. Yeah, whatever that was about. I did take it out and fix it. And then I'll do the toe and then do the same thing again. And this is, I possibly could get 3 pairs of shorty socks out of this. We'll see. I might try it just for funsies. I know I can get 2 pairs out of full-size socks, so I don't know. It'll be close. I might have to make a pair for somebody with smaller feet to make that work. But
yep.
Stay tuned. It's always an adventure.
Oh. So I started something new.
Ooh.
I think I need some more tea or coffee or something. So Amy Christopher's a couple weeks ago, I want to say now, posted on Instagram a new shawl pattern that she was doing, and she was giving a lot of the proceeds to charity. And that's the pattern.
Oh, that's cool.
If Sun Comes shawl. And this is all garter. So this kind of main body color is all garter, and then you switch and do some mosaic. And then I think you go back to garter up for the very, very edge. So there's just a little bit of mosaic happening in here.
Oh, cool.
So I ended up ordering some Neighborhood Fiber Co.
Oh, cool.
And that's my main body color. And then my edge color, where the mosaic starts.
Ooh.
It's like a really super deep purple, plummy purple.
That's a beautiful purple.
So I think it'll be really, really pretty with that. So that's about how far I am. I'm not too far. But,
nice.
It's kind of fun. I was enjoying working on my colorwork sweater, but a lot of the time just needed something I could pick up and just knit, So that's what I decided I would do.
Nice. Nice. And is that fingering or DK weight?
It's DK. Yeah, cool. It's DK. So it's moving along pretty good. When I actually am knitting on it. So no, that's been a fun project. So, and then the only other thing I have are the socks that I'm designing for the next season of Vermont box. So we don't have the colorway yet, and I don't know exactly what it is, but I've got lots of fiber stash yarn in my stash because I love Christy's yarn. I love her dyeing style. It's really lovely. So I was like, I'll just pull a skein of her yarn, and then because I wanted. She dyes her yarn similarly, the multicolor yarn, and I'm thinking she's probably going to do a multicolor for this, but I don't know. She could do a tonal. She usually does tonals, and then she's got her multicolors. And so her dye style is similar between her multicolors that she does, and they just are really a very pretty, variegated. You typically don't get pooling, and you just get some really fun.
So this is the inside one is one of her speckles.
Yeah. So they're just really lovely, and I really like her dye style that she does. So I won't show you exactly all of what the sock's gonna look like, but I can show you the heel. They're gonna be shorties. There's the heel.
Nice.
I won't show you the design. There's a little bit of the design at the very top before you transition to the heel, but I just picked up the stitches around the heel, so yeah. So awesome. Yeah, this is not the colorway for the Seasons of Vermont box. It's just a colorway that I pulled from my stash. I think this one is remembering in the wrong direction.
Okay.
But I can't remember. I had the thing, but it got separated from the.
It happens.
So you got a sneak peek of the next thing for. I probably just was a spoiler. Jen's gonna smack me upside the head because I just told you what the yarn is gonna be, and I just gave you a sneak peek of the pattern. Inadvertently, just
Sorry, Jen.
Oh, but we don't know what the yarn's gonna look like yet.
So speaking of Seasons of Vermont box, we still have some of the one from June left.
We do, and I have one sitting here so I can show the contents. Do you have more knitting stuff you want to talk about?
I just have one little update on my garden gate, which I have not knit a huge amount on, but I have separated for the sleeves. Can't remember if I had separated for the sleeves when we podcast last or not.
I don't think so.
Okay. So I'm just working on the body.
Nice.
And that's showing, it's a much more orangey color than what it's showing on my screen. So I don't know what it's showing on.
It's not looking terribly orangey on my screen.
Yeah, it's very like golden roddy
green. Yeah.
And it's definitely more like rust colored.
Yeah.
So screen viewing colors, your mileage might vary.
It might be your lighting too in your office.
Probably.
Sometimes that can be.
This awesome overhead fluorescent lighting. So
yeah, I mean, we've got the overhead fluorescent lighting, but back here there's so much natural. There's a window behind me, there's a window over there, and there's more windows over there. So yeah, we've got a lot of natural light that comes in here. So
I'm in a conference room.
Yeah.
So that's all of my knitting.
The conference room where we met and discussed a lot of business stuff before we had our store.
Oh yes.
And met with sales reps and
oh yeah, and had yarn shipped here and like all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, and I used your spare office that you had at the time to set up and photograph a lot of the yarn. So
oh yeah, that was so exciting.
Can you believe that was almost 5 years? Well, it was
5 years ago.
Basically. Well, we started talking about it in July? 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wild. So
what do you say?
The birth of the yarn store.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Seasons of Vermont.
Seasons of Vermont. This was a really good one, and we do still have a few left. But this is the project bag, and it is so cute. So this is Elizabeth's studio, and we've got everything linked, I think, on I have linked them in the past. But this one kind of came together pretty quickly. So I can't remember if I linked it, but I think I did on this one. Elizabeth's studio, she does a lot of the cork. And she's done something for the previous 2 boxes that we did. She did the little pouch in the last one, and then she did a shawl cuff in the first one that we did. But this is a really nice, I think it's a linen on the top, and then the bottom is the cork. And there were a few different colors of this, and that was just random. It was kind of whatever everybody got. So the bag is number 1 item. Well, they're not ranked because they're all great.
They're all great.
The next is, I think I may have showed this because I have a skein of this at home. Wing and a Prayer Farm. This is her Vermont sock yarn. So it is wool and nylon, 90% wool, 10% nylon. And this one is dyed with nettles, and then it's over dyed with indigo. So it's not showing great here, but it's a really beautiful green that has like some blue tones over it because of that indigo on that. So really lovely. And this is about 375 yards, so almost 400 yards with these. So nice. That's really lovely. Caitlin Birch Glassworks, she does some really amazing stuff. And this time she did stitch markers for us before, and a progress keeper the first time. I think that was what she did. This time she did a really lovely glass button.
They're so gorgeous.
Yeah, they're just amazing. She does really, really good work. So see if I can get that. There we go. It's beautiful. Definitely doesn't do it justice because they're just really lovely. And then let's see, what else do we have? Oh, this is the candy bag. This one may be missing the candy because I'm kind of hungry. There's more in there than that, but Lake Champlain chocolates and then Dakin Farms, the little maple candies are in there. Oh, I'm throwing maple candies around. You have to get back.
Maple candy for you. Maple candy for you. Maple candies for everyone.
And then we wanted to keep the fragrant things separate from the
food things,
edible things. So this was totally not planned because Jen had all of this stuff lined up like at the beginning of the year before any of the COVID pandemic happened. This is from Luna Roma. She's done lip balm for us, and she did hand salve, I think was the last one she did. She did a really lovely hand sanitizing gel. So it's called Aroma Guard hand gel. So
nice.
I know, it was like the timing on that. This would be a great one you could keep in your purse or something. Because it has the little turn top on it.
Yep.
Or, you know, just wherever, on your desk at work or whatever. Exactly. And then the last but not least is Wing and a Prayer Farm Goat's Milk and Tallow Soap. This is calendula and ginger, and they smell so good.
That stuff is amazing.
Yeah, and you might be able to see it, but the calendula flowers up along the top, they're really pretty too.
Yep.
So.
And I mean, if you've never used a tallow soap before, handmade tallow soap, like it's incredible. I signed up for Tammy's soap CSA, and
I benefited from it because I got some.
Yeah. It's amazing, and Tammy does amazing things with the soaps. So you guys are in for a treat with that.
Yeah, and Tammy is doing a soap CSA too that I think she completely sold out of the first CSA that she did, so I don't think it's available anymore. Keep your eye on her website. It is linked in the page for the Seasons of Vermont box. You can just go to wingandaprayer.com, wingandaprayerfarm.com.
The last time I was out on her store page, there was individual bar soaps available. But I didn't see the CSA, so I think it was. I think it did.
Yeah, that was really successful for her, which is great. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Small farms can.
What a great idea too.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, because that's 2 bars of soap every
other month.
Every other month
for a year. Like it was not a bad. And I'm sure they'll be seasonal, with flowers or scents or whatever.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's neat.
Yeah, I'm excited.
All right, that's all I got.
Okay, that's all I have for knitting and stuff content.
But it was more than I've had in a long time, so I feel,
I like that shawl. I've been kind of thinking about or wanting to knit a shawl. A DK weight shawl would be good because I kind of feel like I get working on like these sweaters and stuff, and then I have to like intersperse some quick projects because at some point I'm like, I just want to finish something.
Yeah. No, I that's kind of how I was feeling. I haven't knit any shawls in a long time, and I used to knit shawls like all the time. That was pretty much all I was knitting, and I think a lot of people went through that too. But I've been knitting a lot of sweaters more recently, and I haven't done tons of mosaic, so I thought it would be kind of a nice project. So
nice.
Yeah. Yep.
Excellent. Excellent. So we have some store announcements and some other stuff to talk about, I think.
We do. Yeah. So for store stuff, we're going Sundays, we're going to be open again from 12 to 4. So back to our regular hours on Sunday. We're going to keep doing the virtual knit groups, but Jen and I switched because she typically works on Sunday at the store. So she's going to cover the Sunday knit group. So the codes that had been for one are now switching so that we can start our own knit groups rather than having to go to one and hand it off. So I'm going to be doing the Wednesday night, and she's going to be doing the Sunday afternoon knit group. And we actually have been doing that for a couple weeks now. So that's happening, but the codes are switching. So if you usually logged on Sunday with that specific code, that's now going to be the Wednesday night code, and same thing for the Sunday. So in the latest newsletter, I actually just put in what the new links are. They're not really new, but it's what the links are going to be. So you can find them there, and I will put them in show notes so that you can access them there, because we do a waiting room and everything. So I'm not too terribly worried about that. So I'll put in the times. But the other thing we're going to do, we're actually going to start doing in-person knit groups again, and they're going to be outdoors. They're going to be weather dependent. So if you want to come and knit, if you're local, bring a lawn chair, bring your knitting, bring snacks not to share. I think a lot of people are really excited about that because they're excited to see familiar faces again and do it in a safe way, you know, as long as you follow social distancing guidelines and come and hang out and have fun. So that's going to be Sundays 1 to 3 and Wednesdays 5 to 7. And we've got a nice lawn area under the trees, so it'll be nice and shady if it's a sunny day. And so those are going to be weather dependent, like I said. But if the weather's good, come on out because there's going to be people hanging out and knitting, or crocheting or whatever else they want to be doing. So that's that. Great Northern Yarn Haul is a go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you've participated in the Great Northern Yarn Haul, then that is actually happening this year, and you can check out their website or their Facebook page, and that's where a lot of the information is going to be. I don't think a lot of the details about it have been released yet, but we will. I know they're going to be releasing more details as that comes along. Most of the stores that are participating are, well, all of the stores that are participating are either in Vermont, Maine, or New Hampshire. I think they're pretty much within the counties that are kind of safe zones or low incidence of COVID. So
where you can travel to and back without having to quarantine.
Yeah. So that'll be good. And I know a lot of people are doing like camping trips and things like that. So if you're, especially if you're doing it with a camper or tents and staying at different state parks or what, you know, however you're doing it, if you could plan some little stays, weekends, because usually it's like a 3-week thing. So I don't know if they're changing the dates or not for this one, for how long it is, but yeah. So that's very exciting.
Yeah, that's fun.
We're still participating in the Barocco dropship program. So if you sign up for their Knit Bits newsletter, what they're doing is they're putting together kits so that it's usually a project project pattern paired with some yarn. And if it's yarn that we have in stock and you're local, you want to just pick it up along with the pattern, you can do that. Otherwise, if it's not something we have in stock, then we can do the dropship program through Barocco. You basically come in or call us and pay for the project and the shipping, and then they send it direct from the warehouse to you.
Nice.
So that's a fun program. Our free shipping is ending. Our free shipping on purchases of $15 or more is ending at the end of June. So if you wanted to take advantage of that, do so before the end of June, because then it's going to be going back to standard shipping. We have always offered free shipping on orders of $150 or more. So that will go back to the way it was. But if you wanted to take advantage of that, we're still offering curbside pickup too. So if you're not comfortable coming into the store or you just want to take advantage of the curbside service, that is something that we're offering. So you can put your order in through the website and just use the code pickup at checkout, so you're not getting charged shipping. And then, or you can call in your order as well.
Yep. Yeah. So what were we talking about? The dropship program? Yes. And curbside pickup. And
was there anything else? I was trying to go through the newsletter because I just did the newsletter and we tried to update a lot of that in there. And so I was trying to go through there and remember everything that was in there. I think we pretty well covered.
So we will probably be having some announcements about the retreat.
Yep.
We're not ready to make those today, but for folks who are signed up for the retreat, we will be letting you know very soon what's happening with that. So just kind of stay tuned.
Yeah.
We're just like with everything, we've just been kind of watching, waiting, looking at everything.
Yeah.
We're having to make some decisions and we should have those soon. So
yeah, I mean, we're looking at everything because we want to do what's going to be safest for everyone, because
yes. Yep.
you know, that's our number one priority.
Right. Well, it's also what's going to be the safest and what's going to allow people to have the best time as
exactly.
well. Because I think that's also challenging right now. So, you know, we have not forgotten. We're not just ignoring the retreat scheduled in August, but you should be hearing from us shortly.
Yeah, probably within no later than early August. Well, probably next couple of weeks anyway.
You mean early July?
I mean, yeah.
I was like, oh, we're gonna.
No, July.
Yeah. In the next, I would say in the next couple of weeks, we should have.
Did I really say August? Oh my God.
It's fine. I was like, huh. Oh, she's got to mean July.
Yeah, I mean July. You know, that month that's coming in a few days.
I know. That one. Kelly's so excited to just be done with, you know, everything. She's like, I'm just going to skip July. Maybe that'll help.
Yep. We'll just skip it.
Let's skip it. Who needs July?
No, I got a lot of stuff to get done in July.
Me too. So I don't know that I have anything else.
I don't think I do either. I'm just looking in my bag to see if I left anything in there that I wanted to talk about. I don't think so, though. I think I talked about pretty much everything.
Me too.
Yeah.
So thank you everybody for stopping by and spending some time with us.
Yep.
And supporting the store. We really appreciate it. Supporting our fundraising drive. We couldn't be more pleased with how everyone has sort of stepped up and donated and participated. Yeah. So thank you.
Yeah, that's been amazing. Very heartwarming. So.
Yes. Yep. And if you are, you know, tuning in after having, you know, missed the last one, we're going to be running these all summer. So there's definitely opportunities coming up to provide more donations and be entered for sort of more gift baskets. So.
Yep. And, you know, if there's a particular charity that you've wanted to donate to too, we're going to be doing different charities throughout the summer. And so yeah, we'll do that. And if you have charity and resource recommendations for us too, we're always happy to hear those.
Yep. And add them to our resources page. So
Yep.
So on that note, thank you so much for stopping by. It was great to spend some time with everybody. And until next time, you notice that I've changed from until next week because, you know, we're trying very hard to be here every week for you. But sometimes we just can't make that happen for lots of different reasons. So, but our goal is every week and at the outset, sort of every other week. So, yeah. So we will see all of you soon. And happy crafting or knitting. And stay safe, everybody.
For sure.
Bye. Exactly.
What else? Am I missing anything?
What is that?
That was so bizarre.
What just happened?
I don't know. It just told me you were the host now, and I was like, well, she always was the host.
It literally like sent me to the login screen, and then it was like reconnecting.
That's so weird.
So weird. Well, we'll see what that does to the recording. That'll be fun.
That's so weird.
Edit that out.
I was just sitting here and I was like, hello?
Huh.
And then I was like, well, maybe it kicked me out. But then I was like, well, my video camera wouldn't have been on still.
Yeah. Apparently my own Zoom account kicked me out.
Oh boy.
Oh well. Okay. Computer.
There we
Okay. So we're recording.
Mm-hmm.
Wah, 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 wah. I'm gonna close.
I've got a lot to talk about today.
I have a lot to talk about too, and not very much of it I feel like is knitting.
I have, well, some of mine is knitting, and some of mine it's all like yarny related stuff, I think.
Oh.
I know, right? So.
Well, what? That's never happened before. That was weird. It apparently had to check my browser before it would let me go to random.org. Like, that's new.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So what are my number parameters?
Okay, so we need between 3 and 127.
Okay. Between 3 and 127. Number 26.
Nicole is I won't say her last name,
Okay.
but I'm going to highlight
we know who Nicole is. You saw the random number generator on camera.
That's right.
Being recorded. So we're on the up and up. Unlike me when I draw prizes behind the scenes and I'm just like, I did it.
Well, I thought that was, the kind of fair way. So we just drew numbers for, we just kind of came into it drawing a number. So we just drew a number for our fundraising campaign, the first 2 weeks that we did. So every 2 weeks, we're doing a different prize package and we're doing a different charity that we're donating money to.
And so this time was Black Lives Matter.
Correct. And we had 124 entries. So I know. So that's $625.
You guys are amazing. That is awesome.
I know. So we just drew the winner, and I'm going to email the winner later today. You can go to our website to the page that we set up with resources, and the next prize pack is already up there with a description of everything in there. I'm
gonna have to go look.
I know.
Seen it yet.
Sorry. So there's 125 because I forget that you have to add the one that you start with. So there's 125 entries.
Oh, right. Yeah.
124. So that goes to 625. So the prize that the person who just, there it is, won is a whole bunch of really nice yarn from my stash that I really like, but I'm never ever going to get to. So I really want to go to a good cause. And a lot of the next yarn for the next one, which I will show you guys too, is from Anja's stash.
I was going to say, I recognize that yarn.
Yes, you do. So this is the one that we just gave away to Nicole. So it's this really cute bag from Darn Yarn MN from Chelsea. This is one that we did for our Seasons of Vermont box, and a little gauge checker from Katrinkles, and some really cute little stitch markers. I gotta make my screen bigger. I'm never gonna be able to see. One of our enamel pins, and then 4 skeins of a fingering weight yarn, 2 of Wool and Vine, and 2 Legacy Fiber Arts.
Nice.
So it's a beautiful prize package, but even more beautiful is, how the money that everybody has donated is going to be helping out.
Yes. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah, it's amazing. So I'm going to put that aside with her name on it and get her address and send it right off to her.
Yay.
Yep.
So cool.
Yep. So do you want me to talk about the next one now, or do you want me to wait until we're kind of in the official body of the podcast?
Why don't we just do it now, and then we can tell people, check out the outtakes. The first part of the outtakes, we're talking about the giveaways. Since we're already talking about it and we already drew the prize, let's just keep it here.
Okay.
Works for me.
So the next one that we're doing, the charity that's going to be, the money's going to be going towards. So all of the donations that were up through yesterday were all towards the first prize giveaway. So anything received today through, I think it's the 7th, 8th of July, I put it in the page. Those will go towards this next prize. And that starts with this bag.
Nice.
Which is a cute tote bag that we did for another Seasons of Vermont. We are doing a really nice bar of wool wash from Woolen & Co. And this one's Chai Spice. It smells really good. And one of our enamel pins again. These awesome stitch markers from Wee Ones.
Her stuff is so amazing.
So it's a little ice cream and a little watermelon slice. These were in other Seasons of Vermont ones from the first year that we did it.
Yeah.
And then yarn. All of this yarn is from Angie's stash that she donated.
Don't worry, I'm not going to run out of yarn. And there's a lot more where that came from.
I know. We're not messing around when we're putting these prize packs together because this is something that's important to us.
So embarrassing to some extent. But I'm so happy to be able to offer it up and donate it to something like this. So
me too. Yep, yeah, me too. So the first skein is a skein of Gail's art, and
her yarn is lovely and beautiful, and she's definitely well known for like her sock blanks.
Yeah.
But she does have a whole bunch of other fantastic yarns. In fact, I knit my On the Spice Market shawl out of Gail's art yarn.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of her sock
yarns.
Yarns. So
a DK weight of the Low Bean Yarn Company's yarn. This is Pinto Bean, which I think is so cute.
Yep. And that was her special Rhinebeck colorway from last year.
It looks like Rhinebeck, doesn't it, with the oranges and purples?
I know.
It's so pretty.
For the India Untangled show. So,
nice.
Yep.
Peggy Jane Fibers.
I see she's been dyeing some new yarn.
I know. Lately. I saw that. She's had some pretty ones. This is another fingering weight yarn. And then last but not least, One Twisted Tree, which you can't really get your hands on very easily anymore. So she's not dyeing. And this is Shrewd Lady Mary. So I went with another purple. As you can tell, Ange and I have a lot of purple yarn.
So and that it doesn't pick up as well on the screen, but that Peggy Jane Fibers and that One Twisted Tree, those two pair together.
They do
incredibly.
It's so funny. I actually pulled this one too, and it actually is really fun. So you could either do a 2-color shawl or a 3-color shawl or something. These would be kind of fun together. So that's why I ended up pulling this one. And then the DK weight would make a great hat or an accessory, a cowl, something. So Yep.
So awesome.
So those are all the fun goodies that starting today, donations will go towards winning you this prize pack. Did I say the charity yet?
I don't remember. You might have, but let's say it again.
So the charity for the donations for the next 2 weeks will be going to Color of Change.
Awesome.
So you can click on the link on our page that I will link in show notes because I didn't do show notes of any kind last time. So I will this time because there's a lot of information I gotta kind of, put it together there. So we'll make sure we get that done.
Awesome. So we're actually still in the outtakes. So I have some chipmunk bird feeder updates for everybody, for the folks who are keeping score at home. I had still managed to keep the chipmunks off of the bird feeder. I did have to vegetable oil up my pole a couple of times, and I was keeping them off. And then I woke up one morning and I walked downstairs and my husband's like, "You need to look out the window." And I was like, "What?" He goes, "No, just look out the window." So I looked out the window and I was like, well, that's not good. So apparently bear 1, Angela 0.
Oh no.
And
There's
so
been a lot of sightings of bears this year.
oh yeah.
Bears and
it's
chipmunks.
yeah, and it's, it's way past the time when it would normally be a problem to have the feeders out, but like I've had to take them down, and like maybe later this summer I'll put them back up, but once the bear, so the problem is that with bears, once they find a food source, like they keep coming back to it. So even if they're not really hungry or there's lots of other things to eat, if they know that it's there and it's continuing to just be replenished, they'll just keep coming back. And so with the dog and like 2 kids, and I know in the area where we are, there's been a mama bear with 2 bear cubs sighted. And so it's just, I don't really need to create a dangerous situation in my own yard.
Yeah.
So they all came down, but it was just like one bird feeder was like across the yard, and like the shepherd's crook was like all bent over, and like the other one was like mangled up against the shepherd's crook. Like it was just the only thing that could have done that was a bear.
Yeah.
So that will end my birdseed chipmunk saga for the summer, because the bears ruined everybody's fun.
Yep. Oh, those darn bears.
Those darn bears. But yeah, there's been, we saw one. I was taking my kids to daycare and camp, and we had a black bear walk across the road in front of our car, like just down the road from our house.
Yeah.
Like I said, we know the mama and 2 cubs have been sighted, and there's, I think, a 3rd adult bear, like a really large, probably male, that's also been seen in the general vicinity. So there's a lot of bears out there right now.
Yeah, there are. And I've heard a lot of people around the area who have seen them. So
maybe those bears should eat some of our chipmunks, and then that would solve the problem.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Anyway, maybe.
Yeah.
Anywho, so that's my fun story. Animal nature story.
I don't think I really have any fun animal nature stories. We've been having raccoons come around. Seen a couple of them. But I'm really good. We have around our chickens, we've got an electric mesh fence. So, and then I'm really good about making sure I go out, when it starts getting dark, and closing them in their coops. So, because raccoons like chicken.
Yeah, so do other things like fisher cats and foxes.
And foxes and coyotes and owls,
bobcats,
and hawks and bobcats. Yeah, we had a bobcat that we saw a pair of them actually hanging out last year.
Nice.
Around. So we have a couple deer that have been hanging out in the pasture too. Although my husband mowed it, so they can't be quite as stealthy. So,
well, if my children are accurate, we apparently have a Sasquatch in our woods. So
that's exciting.
It is exciting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe he melted in the heat.
He might have. It's been so ridiculously hot here.
I know. I was so happy when the cold front came through.
And by cold front, it was 80 yesterday.
Well, cold front 80. It was colder than, it was like, 15 degrees colder than it had been. So.
Oh, I know.
We're not used to it this early up here. We might have a few days of it in July or August, but
yeah, not at the end
really
of June.
Early. Yeah.
And we had a lot. It was like 7 days of over 90-degree weather, which is a lot.
And it kept getting progressively humid too. Yeah. I think the dew points did get into the low 70s. So, I mean, that's pretty oppressive especially for us. But.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Nobody was happy. Everybody was grumpy.
Oh yeah, I was happy when I would come to my office because I have air conditioning in my office, so I get a little reprieve during the day.
I know. Yeah. We've got an air conditioner in our bedroom so that we can sleep if it's, but we don't.
We have one in now.
We don't use it a ton, but because I like, kind of fresh air in the.
Yeah.
But.
Yep. So, well, are we ready?
I think so.
Okay. All right. I feel like I should have good posture. Maybe take my screen glasses off. I don't actually need those on my head right now. I should just wear them and then I'm all like, my face is all glary. You can't see my eyes.
I wore my glasses last podcast.
These, I think, because they're thicker, because they're the blue screen glasses, you get like a big reflection.
Well, they don't. If depending on the glasses, like my regular normal glasses have an anti-glare film on them, so you don't get as much glare off of them.
Yeah.
But I actually have, when I'm wearing my contacts, I've got some of the blue blocker glasses, and they block the blue, but they're not as.
Yeah.
So.
I find that they really help. Like if I'm doing a lot of computer work, at the end of the day, my eyes aren't as tired.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. You ready?
Ready.
Okay.